Every physical element of an office, the geometry of a room, the placement of a desk, the texture of the materials, acts as a silent instruction manual for human behavior. It dictates how people move, how they focus, and how they feel. For decades, outfitting a high-traffic workspace usually meant defaulting to heavy-duty, industrial-grade furniture. These pieces are built to survive constant use, but they generate a rigid, clinical environment that feels more like a factory floor than a collaborative hub. On the opposite end of the spectrum, you find highly aesthetic, lounge-inspired designs. These setups use soft materials and residential styling to create an inviting atmosphere, but they lack the underlying structural engineering required to withstand heavy, long-term daily use. This leaves architects and facility managers with a persistent problem. Is it structurally possible to build a workspace that possesses the operational resilience of heavy machinery while maintaining the approachability of a living room? Historically, standardizing a corporate floor plan meant accepting a compromise. You had to choose either human comfort or operational longevity, sacrificing one to guarantee the other. The Sahlan Desi collection was engineered specifically to break that compromise. Looking down at the primary work surface, the first distinct structural choice is the integration of a circular element into every corner. Sharp, aggressive 90-degree angles typically project a strict, hierarchical corporate tone. By substituting these with sweeping curves, the desk removes the psychological barrier of a hard edge, signaling a more collaborative environment. And because the radius of the curve is tightly controlled, this softening effect is achieved without shedding the practical square footage required for modern digital and physical workflows. By stripping away these sharp physical boundaries, the desk effectively eases the tension of face-to-face proximity, making the furniture feel like an invitation rather than an obstacle. But a welcoming surface is useless if it warps or wobbles under pressure. That brings us to the desk's physical foundation. Supporting the desktop is a dark metal framework, structural strength necessary for decades of office use. However, the application of this metal is kept deliberately slim. Instead of appearing bulky or brutalist, the thin profile of the legs keeps the visual footprint light, adding a layer of modern elegance. Then, where the desk meets the floor, the material shifts. The terminal points of the dark metal legs are capped with solid, natural wood. These wooden anchors serve as a visual grounding mechanism. They inject a sense of organic warmth into an otherwise cold steel structure, creating a feeling of unshakable stability. The Desi setup succeeds by forcing two opposing materials to collaborate, relying on cold metal for physical endurance and warm wood for human connection. Of course, a single ergonomic workstation doesn't run a company. A functioning office requires mass storage, organization, and scalability. The Desi family is built as an expandable ecosystem. It features integrated sliding door side consoles and organizational accessories that dock directly into the main structure. This modular capability allows the aesthetic language of the line to scale effortlessly across different departments, from open collaborative hubs to private executive suites. To actually serve a modern business, a furniture system must solve both the micro problem of individual ergonomic comfort and the larger macro problem of office-wide utility. When you view the fully equipped space, the harmony between the desk, the console, and the shelving unit becomes clear. It lacks the sterile austerity found in traditional high-traffic offices. True innovation in workspace design rarely comes from inventing an entirely new material. It comes from mastering the balance between contradictory forces. The Desi collection resolves the old trade-off, maintaining unyielding operational strength and a structure that actually feels hospitable to the people using it. To explore the exact dimensions and review the technical specifications and map out the modular possibilities for your specific floor plan, visit the Sahlan catalog today.